Hey everyone, I'm live at Pacific Palm Bistro in Allentown, Pennsylvania on Union Boulevard. And I'm at one of only two Burmese restaurants in Pennsylvania. And today we're gonna be sampling, it looks like about 9 different Burmese dishes. And we also have some snacks here. Frankie is gonna be coming in and out. They're open right now, so he can't join me the whole time. But just real quick, show you, Go Vegan NYC, hello, East Village to Allentown, how are you? Okay, so yeah, since you're here, I'll show you, this is a beef curry, which I've actually had at this restaurant before. What's typical Burmese food? Frankie's gonna explain that in a minute. This is a beef curry that I had last time I was here. I eat it with rice. But I believe it's slowly braised, and I believe we have Frankie joining us. We have Kelly joining us from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, Nicolette from North Carolina, and we have Go Vegan NYC joining us from the Lower East Side, East Village actually, I believe. So tell me what is there. So do you want to say hi and introduce yourself first?
Hello everyone, my name is Frank. Also known as Turain is my Burmese name, and thank you for joining us here. And if you have any question, please let me know.
Okay, if you have any questions for Frankie, put them in the chat. I can see the chat on the left. So we're gonna just go around. This one looks pretty simple, so I'm gonna just tilt down a little bit. We have Vinny joining us from Dallas, Texas. So I don't know if that helps at all. Okay, so this is just, I believe, a side, right?
Coconut rice, coconut flavor rice with the side vegetable. We'll serve the rice vegetable with the curry dish, whether it's potato chicken curry or beef curry or pork curry.
Okay, now we have Pamela joining us from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. If any of you have tried Burmese food, please let us know where you tried it and what you had. As far as I'm aware, there's only 2 of these in Pennsylvania at this point.
Right. There's one in Lancaster, which is Japanese and a little bit of Burmese.
Okay, Go Vegan NYC actually, I believe, lived in Lancaster for a while, but it's been years. So, okay, so basically I eat this is the Burmese beef curry. I eat this with the rice typically. What's different about Burmese beef curry, Frankie?
The basic ingredients when we do Burmese curry, it's onion, garlic, ginger, ginger and turmeric, tamarind, and masala will cook together with the meat. And we also put some seasoning. We'll season the meat first, and then the rest of the ingredient we'll cook it in a pot together. The little difference between Burmese curry and some of the Asian other country curries such as Thai or Chinese or India. For example, Chinese uses curry powder to make curry dishes. Burmese will use curry leaf and masala. And a lot of Thai curry use coconut cream or coconut milk. Burmese curry, we don't use that, but there are some fusion Burmese dishes that has coconut in it, coconut milk or powder. So basically it's a simple curry dish. Burmese curries are pretty much simple. Onion, garlic, ginger, we'll chop them up, saute them, and then with paprika, turmeric powder, curry leaf, and masala, and we'll cook them together.
I see. Do you do some of the cooking here?
Yes, we'll do all the curry cooking here. Most of our dishes are prepared here in the kitchen, and pretty much a lot of the things are scrap kitchen. A lot of items.
Did you say scratch, like from fresh?
Yes. For example, like dipping sauces, will make our own dipping sauces here. They already make dipping sauces, but I'll add some ingredients and I'll make our own dipping sauces, and also for cooking sauces. The thing that you have here, it's our sweet and this is the sweet and spicy version.
You might want to put it closer to the camera. It's the mirror mode is reversed, so you could read, but it's reversed for you.
So this is the sweet and sour. It's my version of sweet and sour. I'm sorry, sweet and spicy dish. It's Chinese and Burmese. Typically, the sauce I make in here is put a little bit of Western barbecue sauce and a lot of turmeric. So it's my version of a little Chinese Burmese fusion dish. So sauce like that, I'll make it here in the kitchen. You know.
Well, okay, so I want to say hello to Rosalinda joining us from Jersey City, New Jersey. And so I want to ask you another question, first of all. When did you start cooking?
Well, I started cooking when I was young. Well, actually, I'm a mommy's boy.
Yeah, so his mom is here. She doesn't want to be on camera, so...
I'm always in the kitchen when she's cooked. And then when I was a teenager, when I was in high school, one of my, say like a godfather, he's a lot older than me. He's a chef. So I used to, skip classes to go to his house and, we'll cook during the afternoon or during the evening. And that was when I was in high school. But then I'm a foodie myself. I'll enjoy eating. Enjoy eating different culture food, and then sometime when I cook, I'm not a chef. I'm just a cook. My interest and my hobby is cooking. So when I go around and eat, and when I like certain tastes, I use that as a reference, and then sometime imply in the dishes. The dishes that we have here are very basic dishes, the curry dishes, but everyone cooks curry differently, and Burmese curry might be different than another Burmese restaurant, but majority curry tastes are very flavorful and a mixture of different spices, so it's different. Even if the chicken curry from here would be different from chicken curry from another Burmese restaurant. So it's not very uniform, where every dish is going to be similar or the same if you go to different Burmese restaurants. So.
Okay, we have two questions. We have Kelly joining us from Carlisle, Pennsylvania. She's asking if there are any Burmese appetizers, and if there are any here, tell me. I'll put them up to the screen.
The appetizer we have here is that the tempura vegetable. It's onion, potato, and the other one is, this is the onion, that's potato. This one is the chayote. We normally put the sweet gourd, but in the wintertime, the sweet gourd, we don't really get it, so we use the chayote for now, and the other one is spinach. So that's one of my starter dish, because something like that we do eat every morning or every afternoon. That's like a snack, and it's something that's crunchy that we'll use as a starter or appetizer. Many of our appetizer dishes are salads.
Okay, speaking of salads, this is what I ordered last time, and I asked Frankie to make sure it was here. Actually, pretty much I've seen this on every Burmese menu. I want to say I've probably seen a dozen Burmese menus in the United States and in the country. This tea leaf salad is pretty much on every menu. So, and this has been my favorite, by the way. I'm not just saying this because I'm here. But this has been better, and I've also had Burmese food in Sydney, so I've had it in Australia, United States, and Burma. So this has been one of my, I never really liked this dish until I had it here. So if you want to say anything about it, Frankie?
Well, it's
I'll put it back up.
basically, it's a fermented tea leaf, which is made in most places in Burma, and it's very common and popular dish in Burmese culinary. Everyone eats that, everyone likes it. You can eat it differently. The way I did it is I tossed it with romaine lettuce, cabbage, tomato, with a little bit of garlic oil, a little bit of not salt, a little seasoning. Some places will put dry shrimp, but I don't put dry shrimp here because some people doesn't like dry shrimp. It's got a little bit smell or taste. So
Yeah.
for my recipe, I'll just use seasoning. And then this is what
So
Brian brought.
by the way, Frankie wasn't expecting me to bring this. I'm bringing some stuff that I got at Chin Brothers. It's a Burmese grocery store in South Indianapolis. So I just thought we could try to integrate some of this into the video.
So this is what's in this box. You find everything you need for the tea leaf salad that Brian just showed. And it's a mixture of about four different types of beans. It's double fried with roasted sesame seeds and garlic, and it's already double fried and it comes in a package. So we'll mix that up in the salad with romaine lettuce, cabbage. Some people don't put romaine lettuce. I personally like romaine lettuce, so I put it in there. And then we'll toss it in.
That's one of the reasons I like it.
You know, or in Burma, when some people will eat traditionally, what we do is we have just tea leaf in one portion in a big plate, you know, and then we'll have the assorted beans, and then we have a little bit of chili, garlic, fresh garlic, and then the dry shrimp. So that's the old traditional way where we don't toss everything up together. So we'll eat it that way, or we'll do it in salad when we toss everything up.
Joy from Manhattan is asking if she could buy that.
Yeah, these there are online sales. I think you can also find these on Amazon and I think eBay also, they sell these, but you can find them on Amazon and eBay. And then if you Google Burmese tea leaf, and they will pop up. There are so many kind of different brands. And Yuzna is one of the popular brand that they sell in the States, but you could also find different brand. So yes, you can buy it in the States, but not on the supermarket store shelf. Mostly it's on online sales.
Does the fermented tea leaf create acidity like vinegar? Kelly from Mechanics or Carlisle is asking.
It doesn't. It doesn't have that vinegar acidy taste. It's a quite unique process. I don't exactly know the whole 100%, but it's a tea leaf where they dried it, and then for a few days. After they dried it, they put it in the kind of like in a jar, and then they put together with a little bit of seasonings, and then I believe there was some little bit of oil in there, and then they put it in the dark room. So it doesn't have the vinegar taste or anything like that. You know, acidity, yes.
Okay, so I want to say hi. Kemi's joining us from Brooklyn, New York. I love tea, but not with chili, she says. Okay, so let me see. What's another question? Oh, okay, here's one that I have. And if you have any questions, please put them in there. Kelly will have to try that. Thank you. Yeah, so I have one question for you.
Yes.
Why Allentown?
Well, I wasn't planning to open here to begin with, but I visited a monastery in Bethlehem, and that was the first time I've been to Bethlehem in the Lehigh Valley area, and I kind of enjoy and I love the weather and the community. And then when I drove around the Lehigh Valley area, Allentown, I learned that Allentown is the second largest populated city in Pennsylvania.
You're close. It's number 3.
Number 3? All right.
Number 2 is Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. All right.
There's a major drop-off after number 1 and another major drop-off after number 2. But I believe the population here is around 135,000 nowadays.
All right. Okay.
So, and if you combine Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton, it's easily over 250,000.
Wow.
But I mean, coming from New York, I mean, that's nothing.
Right.
So,
but then the main thing, it's a variety, ethnic background. People are around Allentown, and when I drive around, you can find Middle Eastern food, Asian food, American food, European food, French, Italian. So it's a multicultural, people in a restaurant, and I don't see any Burmese restaurant, so I really wanted to give a taste of Burma to people in this community, and that's the reason why I choose Allentown, and
yeah, so I was so thrilled when I found out about this place. I found out about it through a mutual friend of Frankie and I ended up coming here as soon as I was in town again, and I've been here. This is my 3rd time. Now, Frankie's heard this story twice already, but I want to tell everyone that's listening. Okay, so Joy's asking, and this was one of the questions I had planned for you. If most of the people that are joining in have probably never been to a Burmese restaurant. If they go for the first time, like, what would you suggest they order? Like, first time at a Burmese restaurant, you don't know anything about the food, you've never been to the country. Can you suggest 1 or 2 things?
yes, if you are looking for a noodle dish, what I'm letting you try. This is it's called nanji to. In another way, it's a rice round noodle with a cooked cooked chicken meat. We'll cook it in the fish sauce with onion and things, and then we'll toast it with bean powder, fried onion, fried garlic, cabbage, and a red onion, and a dash of seasoning, and then we'll toss it in the bowl. It's a Burmese chicken noodle salad, So that is very common dish in Burma. You can find pretty much almost every corner in Burma, even in the northern part of Burma. But in the southern part, you can find nanji to. So if you are looking for authentic Burmese noodle, that I would suggest that to try if you ever go to, Burma or even Burmese restaurant. Many Burmese restaurant has that dish.
Okay, well, Kemi's joining us from Brooklyn. I believe New York City only has 1 proper Burmese restaurant now. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe so. Before the pandemic, there were a few, and then during the pandemic, a couple of places closed down, and I'm sure it's a rent reason.
Yes, so
they couldn't afford.
Rangoon is in Crown Heights. I know about that one. Mingala closed, I believe, 2017-ish on the Upper East Side.
Right, Mingala was one of the oldest Burmese restaurant on the Upper East Side.
Yeah, and it closed, oddly enough, right after they rerouted the Q train up 2nd Avenue. It closed then, and you would think that would be even better to get more traffic up there, because
Right.
I didn't visit it for such a long time because I thought it was a little annoying to try to get there, but I found that odd. But so right now there's Rangoon, which is in Brooklyn, Crown Heights. Any others that you know of?
No, I think that's about it. Majority of Burmese food you can find or buy is online. It's on the
Okay.
Facebook. When you type in Burmese food, they will pop up. Not as far as a restaurant. I don't think there are many out there. I know they just opened one up in a subway station. I'm not quite sure the name of it. It's a little vendor, but it is popular. It's getting well known. But they opened just right before the pandemic. But
And I want to mention, if you do want Burmese food and you don't want to go to Brooklyn, take the Transbridge bus to ABE, Allentown Bethlehem Easton Airport. This restaurant is only a couple miles south of there. Second Avenue subway inspected a lot of small businesses for years, but till it was completed. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I want to just mention, like, if you do want to come here, I want to say it's on average it's about a 2-hour bus ride from Port Authority to ABE, which is Allentown Bethlehem Easton Airport. You could Uber here. We're actually, I'm going to try to give a landmark. Coca-Cola Park, where the Philadelphia Phillies AAA baseball team plays. That's the closest, I would say, major attraction. Does that sound right?
right, it's down the block, 3 blocks down the way, and yes, I never experienced it because I heard about it, or tens and thousands of people go to the park during the summer.
Yeah, that's the next level before the major leagues. So it's
Right. But then I never experienced it because last summer when we had a pandemic, everything closed down around here, and then after pandemic, it's winter, and then I don't know when they're gonna reopen. But yeah, we are only 3 blocks away from the Coca-Cola Park and the Airport Road and Union Boulevard.
yeah. So this is Union Boulevard, which if you go east, it goes to Bethlehem, and if you go west, it pretty much, I think, probably runs you towards Reading, Pennsylvania, which is another one of the larger cities in the state. So you, okay, real quick, before we talk about food, I just want to mention, okay, so we have Yerokad, looks nice, Brian, prayers with the people of Myanmar. Yeah, so we have Yerokad joining us from Periscope. So if you want to tell us where you're joining from, Yerokad. And speaking of Myanmar, Frankie knows I visited in 2015. And LOL, Cayenne, you're right, that's what I meant. Okay, I visited in 2015. I basically, I think, did a circle. You're going to tell me that in a minute, but this is a souvenir, this shirt. So
And he has a traditional, the longi, also called.
yeah, so I don't know if you want to like tell me the significance, if this is like unisex or just for the man, or
Well, the bottom part, yes, it is just for the man because there are women wears it too, but women's and men's the material is different, but pretty much the way we tied it, when women tied it all the way around, and then when men wear it, we'll wrap it here and then put it here, and we tie the knot in the center. Where for the women's ladies, they wrap it all the way around and they tuck it on the side, it is it's not a unisex outfit. The top is, yes, for men, but for ladies it's a little more different. For ladies, they put more color, more shining stuff, but this is a man dress, but it's not, well, there are 8 ethnic group in Burma, and this, I believe, it's not Myanmar. It's because we have Kachin, Kaya, Kayin, then you got Chin, then you have Mun, Rakhine, Shan, and then Burmese.
Inlay
Myanmar.
Lake is in Shan, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to sit back down and I'm just going to grab a menu real quick so you can see where we are. Maybe I should grab this too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Oh, sorry. I didn't have you.
Okay. Oh, by the way, you have forks and knives and spoons here. Do you use chopsticks in Myanmar?
Yes, we do.
Okay, we have Stephanie joining us from Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. And she said there's a restaurant called Try Asian Cuisine in Mechanicsburg that has some Burmese dishes, so that's good to know. I don't know if you've heard of it, but
No, not quite.
it's a suburb of Harrisburg, the capital.
Well, you know, I've been out of state for the past few years.
So we have the starters. They have sushi here as well. Last time I was here, I tried, I believe it was the sweet potato roll, and they're open for lunch as well. And I know on Instagram they're at PP Bistro. They're on Facebook as well. So chickpea Burmese breakfast dish, what would that be, Frankie?
Chickpea Burmese breakfast dish. I don't have it today on your table for you, but the chickpea breakfast will do have the chickpea fried beans, where we do fried it with rice, or we eat it with plata, which is also known as thousand-layer bread.
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Roti, it's similar to roti?
correct.
Okay.
Similar to roti, yeah, the chickpea dish or the vatana bean. So those are the Burmese breakfast dish where pretty much you boil those beans, whether it's chickpea or vatana beans, and then you stir fry it with onions, crispy onions, and then you mix them up together. You know,
Okay.
and you eat with thousand-layer bread, or you fry the rice together with the vatana beans. You know, that's a very common Burmese breakfast dish. You know, in Burma, a lot of people eat rice for breakfast too, because once they finish breakfast, they work and they wanted to make sure their stomach is full for until lunch.
There's coconut rice, and I'm gonna actually eat that with this Burmese beef curry, which I had last time I was here last month. I was here somewhat recently. And then these are appetizers. I know Kimmy or somebody asked about appetizers, so these are some appetizers. And yeah, so we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dishes. I'm not counting those because they go with something
Right,
else.
those are the side soup.
So I'm just going to tilt down a little bit so you can kind of see just a little bit of what we have on the table. Now, another question: which city did you grow up in,
Rangoon, also known as Yangon.
and what's the difference? Like, I know it's the same city, but
Well, it's different as the name. Rangoon the name was given by when we were in under British colony. And then just recently, I believe in the 90s, I don't exactly quite sure. In the 90s, the Burmese, back then, the military government changes all the names in Burmese language. So Rangoon become Yangon, you know, and then Burma became Myanmar. So Yangon or Rangoon, which is the city, has the largest population in Burma.
it's no longer the capital.
Correct. It used to be, and then the military government back then, they moved all the government offices from Rangoon to Naypyidaw. And
Yeah.
now become a capital of Burma, Naypyidaw, where all the government offices are.
Now, I know most of us aren't traveling right now, but as far as the country goes, Frankie has to hear this again, I'm sorry, but when I visited in 2015, I flew into Yangon, went up to Bagan, over to Mandalay, over to Pinolin. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Just check my
Yeah.
check my Instagram and you'll see a picture of MTV Fashion World with the MTV logo. That's Pinolin. But yeah, so then we went down to Inlay Lake and then back down to Yangon. That was about a 7-day trip. Is it possible to do all that now? Like I'm saying, like, if you forgot lockdown, are all those places still accessible?
Right, yes, they are. Then those are the major tourist cities and sightseeing places. Inlay, Mandalay, Dien Ulwin. It's from Rangoon, where in the southern by the delta it started, and then it goes north and then you go to Shan State, and then Bagan, where it's a tourist.
Yeah, numerous pagodas. I remember there were like more pagodas.
Correct. It's thousands of pagoda in one place, and those who have been there since the kingdom. And yes, those places are open. There are a lot of right now because of the situation in Burma. There is no traveling because of the military coup happening. So anyway, that's a politic. So besides that, those places are very well known places and very, it's a good place to visit. And you have 5-star hotels where 15 years ago or 10 years, 15 years ago, you don't have those 5-star or 3-star hotels, but now it's a great place to visit.
I wanted to mention that back in 2015, I paid an average of $40 a night for a room, and every morning I had mohinga for breakfast. It was everywhere. You just, you got it at a street stall or something like that. But I remember having mohinga every morning and being happy when I realized, well, I actually could get it in the United States. And one other memory I have is it just being insanely hot to the point where the locals had a white substance on their face. You know what I'm talking about? Like the locals will put white.
Well, it's called tanakar.
Okay.
So it's a wood. It's a kind of type of wood that where you can put it on the concrete type of thing, and you scrub it. You make circular, put drop water, and then you get these kind of like a powder lotion, from the water and the bark of the tree. That's where you're going to grind it. You grind it on a piece of the concrete plate, or something like that. Drip water, and then that lotion you applied it cools your skins, and also that's also another way. It's a sunblock lotion.
It's hot there. I mean, it's hot. I was there in June.
Everybody has that on because that's the cheapest and natural sunblock lotion. Pretty much.
Now, my itinerary, is that a pretty normal one, or are there other places you would suggest if anybody's going to visit the country?
Well, those are your itinerary is where very developed places, sightseeing places. Yes, of course, there are, if you go down to south, Tan Nguyen, which is border with Thai.
The city on the other side of the border, would that be Ranong?
Right.
Okay, I know Ranong.
And then in the south, it's Mek. There are thousands of islands, billionaire islands, they call it, and right on the other side, you can see Thailand, Phuket. The Phuket is one of the tourist attractions.
That's close to the border. Joy's joining us from New York. She's originally from Thailand, so she might be a little more familiar with it. She is from the east of the country, closer to Cambodia, but...
All right, so the other one that we're talking about in the south, we are right next to the Phuket Islands.
I've never actually been there.
Those are very nice. Those are untouched lands.
Joy, have you been to Phuket? If anybody's been to Phuket, feel free to chime in. There's an event that I attend sometimes. It's called TBEX for travel writers. Okay, here, Kemi asks a very good question. Is it good for solo travel for women? So could women travel alone to the country?
Yes. There are backpackers or solo travelers, or family travelers. Right now I'm not talking about right now because the situation is bad, the military coup and the traveling. But if we forget about that, if nothing's happening, then yes, it's safe to travel because the local Burmese people are very friendly to foreigners.
I will say that, yes.
And they always treat you nice, special treatment not because they're trying to manipulate you, but they just like to welcome you and Tourists, they nowadays, they know that tourism brings economy. The more job, and that's where they make living on, in many places. So it is very safe to travel. There are a lot of foreigners, females alone, and you can always get a good tour guide for very, very inexpensive price, and they will tour you all over the city or all over the country with very fractional little price. But yeah, you won't have to worry. If you get into trouble by one of the local, there's other local who will go and help you out. That's a good advantage of foreigners in Burma.
Okay, Kemi's asking how friendly are they to black foreigners?
Black, white, they are friendly. There are a lot of foreigner black people from Africa, not from not African American. The Africans are in Burma and they are being treated as equal as white people, So,
Well, that's good to hear.
and a lot of foreigners are very friendly too. People go to Burma and they interact, and then sometimes they give them, little present, chocolates or things like that. So the local
Or a shirt.
kids, yeah, the shirts, like these assorted little
Oh yeah, there's so many
snacks.
things. Frankie, do you want to start? So these were.
The-
Yeah, go ahead.
These snacks they like to give as a present. So this is the dry cake. It's a cake. They dried it up and we normally eat it during the tea time or coffee time. We'll have in the afternoon or in the morning. We'll drink tea or coffee and we dip this in. These are, Brian brought it, so I was amazed. These are very common and popular rice cake or flour cake. They are sweet, made with honey or a sugar syrup. So this is another one, which is the dry bread. The other one is dry cake. This is the dry bread. Sorry. So yeah, people in Burma, they have coffee in the morning, tea or coffee in the morning, tea and coffee in the afternoon. When a lot of tea shops, so people go to the tea shops and hang out, drink tea, and then they talk about business, politics,
That's not that much different from here. Michelle from Kew Gardens, New York, is asking, what time of year do we recommend visiting?
I would say the best time is December or January, where the weather is a little cooler. You want to avoid July, August, which is very hot and very dry and arid. So, and then from May, June, it's a raining season. So you want to avoid May, June, July, August. By like October to November, December, January, February will be the perfect 4 months to go to. It's a cold season.
So what Frankie's saying is do the opposite of what I did.
Yes.
So yeah, basically, and by the way, Frankie, I'm having the tea leaf salad, which is, would you say this is one of the dishes you would find on most menus?
Correct, yes.
Okay, do you want to explain this while I eat it? I know we have some people that are just joining us.
So, it's assorted double fried beans and also peanuts, roasted sesame seeds. Those are all double fried, double cooked, and we'll have the tea leaf, fermented tea leaf. We'll put it in the cooking oil, vegetable oil or garlic oil. I use garlic oil instead of vegetable oil, and I have tomato, cabbage, romaine lettuce, and I mix them up, toss them in the bowl, put them in the bowl, and mix them up with a little bit of seasoning, salt. Some people put fish sauce, some restaurant. The traditional way, some people like to fish sauce. But I don't put the fish sauce because not everybody can take the smell of fish sauce. So for your case, use a little bit of the Knorr, powder, which also known as the chicken seasoning powder. Just a little bit of that, and then the rest is the flavor that you're getting from is when we double fry those beans, we put salt and seasoning in there just to bring the flavors, and then already the tea leaf itself has a flavor in there. So when you mix all of them up and toss it in a bowl with the rest of the other vegetable, it brings out the fresh taste. And then the tea leaf itself makes you awake. Tea has caffeine. And back in Burma, it's just a little story. When the college students or high school students, when they are taking finals for the test, during those days they like to eat the tea leaf salad to stay awake and then stay late to keep studying.
I have a question. Yeah, Kemi, the answer is yes. Michelle, have you been to Burma, Myanmar before? And my question is, can you explain the betel nuts that people chew?
The bee?
The betel nuts.
Oh, the betel nuts.
People chew them, remember? At least I saw a lot of it, especially in the more rural areas.
Right. I think it's the tradition where it started and adapted from the India. It's a mixture of the betel nuts. Then you also have this, I don't know how to say it in English, there's this green leaf. And then they also have a mixture of 3 or 4 different herbs. Put it in the with the betel nuts, and they chew it all day. And it is very addictive, and that also don't make you feel asleep. So a lot of highway, tourist car drivers, they like to chew on that to stay awake, and it's like a cigarettes or cigar. People who chew on them, it's like smoking a cigarette or smoking a cigar, But it is it's very cheap, but once you are addicted to that, you spend a lot of money.
I wanted to ask that because in New York, a pack of cigarettes is probably between $10 and $15. Would you say that the betel nuts are the equivalent to that in the local currency?
No. It would be a very fraction. The pack of cigarette, for example, Marlboro would be about $4 currently now. About 6,000 chut, so about $3-4. But then if you do smoke a local cigarette, which is about $2 a pack.
So that's half of what you would pay here, I think, in Pennsylvania.
Right. And then those betel nuts, a fraction of that. So, like they sell in a pack of 4, and a pack of 4 will probably it's 1,000 chut. That's in the city I'm talking about. If you go in the countryside, it's even cheaper. So 1,000 chut is 80 cents.
Okay, $1 was, I believe, around 1,000 chut when I was there. Is it the same? What would it be now?
Well, right now it's 1,350 chuts to 1,400s. So it's 1,300 to 1,400. It ranges every week.
And I have a local tip. Kemi says, I like Burma already. I think she'll probably visit. She's been to Southeast Asia before. So I want to say when you go there, at least when I was there, high denomination bills with absolutely no damage. What they'll do, at least what they did 6 years ago, if there was damage to the bill, I watched this happen, they'll give you less. So before I left, I went to my bank and I actually walked in and asked them for like, a few $100s worth of higher denomination bills with absolutely no damage. And the bank was happy to comply. I got the full maximum value I could get, but you will need to use the local currency. I didn't see like let's say another Southeast Asian country, Cambodia, where like when you go to the ATM you can get dollars or reals. Like there, everything was in the local currency, and credit cards were not a big thing outside the cities and the higher dollar items. You will need cash. When was your last time you visited, Frankie?
I was in Burma from 2000, just right before you were there. I started going back to Burma, traveling back to Burma in 2013. Every year, once a year, from 2013, 14, 15, and then 2016 I went back to Burma to open a restaurant.
Oh, I want to hear this story.
I actually stayed there. That's when the government became a democracy government in 2015 election. So a lot of foreign company went to Burma to start doing business, trading. Burma is like the last frontier. So I decided, let me go and do something over there. So I went to open a restaurant for middle class people or lower. So every people who cannot afford to go to eat at the restaurant, they could come to my eating house or restaurant. So I did that. So from 2016 to 2018, stayed there for 3 years and opened my first ever restaurant.
Oh, so your first restaurant was not in the United States?
No, in Yangon. It's a big challenge, but it was successful. I did well, but the only thing is my family is here, and it is kind of hard to, sometimes kind of hard to deal with the staff, meaning employees, the local, staff, local employees, and then the vendors. So, I kind of don't want to take that headache. So I came back to States. My wife said just come back, So I came back. So I decided, okay, now that I had 3 years in Burma, I was selling Burmese dishes plus Chinese dishes.
Why Chinese?
Well, in Burma, it's ironic, right? I don't know why. It's like a trend. Burmese food, Burmese curry, any Burmese dishes, people only eat for breakfast and lunch. And majority people likes to eat Chinese or any other food like, burger, steak for night, for dinner. So if anybody opens a serving dinner restaurant, if you don't have like a Chinese dish or European dish, most likely you won't get a lot of customers. They don't like to eat, majority of people don't like to eat Burmese when they go out to dine. Of course, when they stay home, you eat Burmese food, but when they go out to dinner, they want to eat something else. So that's why you see a lot of Chinese food out there.
But I stayed actually when I was in Yangon. I stayed there at the beginning and the end of the trip. I actually stayed in Chinatown, which is next to Little India. Is that correct?
Yes. Chinatown is huge, big. Just like a lot of city. I don't know why it's a trend. There's a Chinatown and then the Indian town, like very close to it. And because I think about Chinatown, when at night people go out to eat, street vendors or a restaurant, they go to Chinatown, and that's where you can find variety street vendors like barbecue. People like to drink beer or or liquor at night. So they like to try different. So Chinatown, where more people go to Chinatown. And then the Indians are there because that's where all, majority, foreigners and tourists are, and even the locals go there to eat. And they are, so when you're talking about the Chinatown and Indian town is next to each other, which is close to the Bojongze, the general Bojongze. It's a big supermarket in the middle of the city. It's a Bojo supermarket.
Okay, one of your customers has joined, Rhonda Schuler, is asking, have you had the tomato salad or shrimp and vegetable salads? I don't think I have I?
No. But you did try the crispy shrimp and vegetable salad very first time you came.
By the way, we haven't started this yet, but this is an appetizer. Somebody asked about appetizers in the beginning. So far, I've had the tea leaf salad, and next, I'm going to show you, the next thing I'm going to eat is the beef curry, which the beef is slow cooked. I'm guessing it's slow cooked. Is that right, Frankie?
Correct. It's slow cooked. I did cook with curry leaf, bay leaf. Put a little bit of variety of different. The main taste is the masala.
So this is really the second dish I'm trying, and I'm eating it with the coconut rice. That's how I usually eat. I'm just making comparisons because people may not be familiar with your type of cooking. Beef rendang, or something like that. I'm kind of comparing it to beef rendang, which is an Indonesian dish. Thank you. I got a knife. So this one here, I know some of the people are just joining. Could you just really quickly explain your beef curry again that I'm having right now?
Well, I'll cook the beef curry. The basic main ingredients is onion, garlic, chopped onion, chopped garlic, chopped ginger, and then the turmeric powder, paprika powder, and then masala powder, and a curry leaf. We'll cook them up together in a pot and slow cooked. First, we'll have to saute those onion, garlic, ginger, and then once those things turn kind of like caramelized, we'll add the paprika, turmeric, salt. I did use fish sauce in this particular dish because when we cook curry, we can use fish sauce because when you cooked it together, it evaporates and then you don't feel the smell. You don't smell the fish at all.
So Joy likes anything with turmeric, so she'll like that. Now, what is this one here, Frankie?
That's a chicken mango pickle chicken curry.
Okay.
So I'll cooked it with mango pickle, which is it's quite very authentic dish in Burma. A lot of people cooked it with pork. Pork with mango pickle. It'll give you the sour taste. Since you don't eat too spicy, I particularly cook this with a regular mango pickle.
Well, this is what I'm going to try next, Frankie. So right now I'm trying a mango chicken curry, right?
Correct.
And I've never had this before,
No,
at least
you
not
didn't.
this version. I want to mention, when I was in the country, Nicolette, you can see now I'm trying it. So when I was in the country, the only non-Burmese restaurant I ate at was Thai, and that's a neighboring country. So, but I think my hosts kind of did that because they knew, I could get this stuff in New York. So the other stuff I can get in New York.
So it gives you a little sour taste. It's a little bit unique taste. Some people might, if you like sour, you will like this dish. If you don't like sour, you might taste a little funny, but
It's fine for me.
it's not spicy there. Because there, I use I have two different type of mango pickle. One is non-spicy and one is with chili. And normally I cook with the little bit of spicy pickle, but for you I use the regular.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So it sounds like possibly Michelle and definitely Kemi are going to go visit the country. Can you tell them a couple basic greetings? I only know Mingalaba.
Right, Mingalaba, it's hello, Ne Kaung La. Ne Kaung La means how are you?
Ningko
Ne, N-E-Y, Ne,
Ne
Kaung
Kong
La.
La.
Yeah, La is a question mark pretty much, in many sentences. So Ne Kaung La meaning...
Ne Kong La. I'm practicing.
Ne Kaung La is how are you, and Mingalawa is, we say it as a welcome or hi Mingalawa, Ne Kaung La, or Sapi Bila, mean have you eaten?
Okay, Sati Bila.
Sapi Bila. So
Sapi Pila.
yeah, Sapi Bila mean have you eaten yet?
So I only had a smoothie today because I knew I'd be coming here. So that's how I'm able to, I'm working on my third dish right now.
Should I heat it up a little bit for you?
Not this one, but okay,
Maybe
so
when you do the soup.
okay, so I do have a question for you. What is this one here, Frankie?
That's a garlic vermicelli noodle, also known as G-O-C-Jet. So this is a dish that you will find in every corner of Burma. It's a Chinese dish, but only you can find it in Burma, the Chinese dish. It's vermicelli noodle with garlic oil, the soy sauce, but it's a different soy sauce. We mix it in. But where the meat is, we use a minced meat with flavors, flour, eggs. We kind of mix it up with like burger meat, and then we boil it in the soup.
And what kind of meat is this?
This is the pork.
Okay.
Is it okay with the pork?
Not really, but
I can do chicken.
okay. So that's fine. I understand. I'm not going to be able to finish all this anyway.
the other
But
one is
Kemi's
chicken.
asking a question. I'm sorry, I've been ignoring her question a couple times now. She's asking if there are any seafood dishes.
Here?
Well, here and in general, like
In general, yes. Well, Burma has hundreds and hundreds of miles of coastline.
yeah.
So yes, the seafood is big in Burma. Fish, crab, especially the crab, which is
Like the French thing?
yeah.
Okay.
And the crab out east looks more like Dungeness crab. Not the blue crab. in
Oh,
the East
crab.
Coast,
Okay,
the
okay.
crabs, yeah. Crab is big, and you go to eat at night. A lot of people eat crab masala, crab chili crab. The fish, also eel.
Oh.
Eel is a very popular dish. It's a hot and spicy eel. That's a very popular dish. And of course, shrimp. Shrimp. People eat shrimp during the day, but more people eat like whole fish or crabs or calamari salad. So yeah, seafood is definitely big in Burma, and
Is
it's
that
not
more-
as expensive as here.
Yeah, it could be expensive here. Is it more prevalent along the coastline?
Oh yeah, when you go to coastline like Napoli or Make, where in south, Make, you get fresh seafood and they are cheaper than meat.
That's unusual. Okay.
Let's say, fish would be cheaper than chicken, which is, chicken is kind of like a delicate meat. in some part of the country.
Yeah, here it's like if you're trying to save money, you might order a chicken dish as opposed to
Right.
like a seafood dish. But there you're saying it's different.
Right, because chicken, well, just a few years ago, they all import chicken from other countries. Before that, for you to get chicken, everyone has to grow a chicken farm.
Oh, and now
Yeah.
they're more common?
Right. So now, those chicken that comes from the farm are more expensive than the one imported. And
And
you
where
know,
would they typically import chickens from?
From here, Tyson chicken.
Oh, from the United States?
Correct. Tyson is big in Myanmar and also surrounding neighbor country. Majority of them from China. A lot of goods or food are imported from China, you know, and there are now the factories in Burma, the meat factories that is operated by Chinese or Japanese or Korean. Even there are fish farms in Burma where they grow tilapia or certain type of fresh water fish. You know.
Well, I'm about to, yeah, Nicolette, you're correct. The chicken mango curry is excellent. It's almost gone. It's like my third dish I've had.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
Since we sat down. Yeah, so I did not actually have this last time I was here.
Those are the mango, so they'll be sour.
Okay.
Those little green that you see.
And then,
That's a glass noodle.
and one thing we didn't mention, what is this?
That's the coconut cream. It's a dessert.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna save the dessert for last. So one thing I didn't really, I'm gonna move some stuff around here. Okay, so
Maybe I should heat that up and you can.
what is this? This chicken?
That's a glass noodle chicken.
Okay.
Glass noodle soup. And the other one is the nanjito with chicken.
And what vegetable is this? The green one.
That's a spinach.
Okay, and what is the sauce here to dip it in?
It's a chili sauce, sriracha chili,
Okay.
and the little bit of Thai chili pepper. I know you don't eat spicy, so I can get you something else.
Okay, and I'm gonna try it actually in this real quick.
Right. You can take that, right? This hot level.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let me
So
hit this one up.
okay, yeah, please, thank you. Is there a seafood dish? Yeah, so I think we answered that question, and this is the appetizer that I actually had this last time I was here. So my hands are probably going to get a little dirty now, but I'm going to try some of these fried appetizers in the mango sauce. Okay, thank you.
Take this away.
And then when you come back, maybe we could explain this one. I think that's the one we didn't talk about yet. So, okay. The coconut cream here, we're going to try for dessert. And I think next, I want to try this noodle dish. So, we didn't talk about any noodles yet. And that's what I'm going to do next. So, this one here is what he mentioned earlier. And I'm gonna actually try to eat this one with the chopsticks. So, is everybody like, does anybody have any interesting dinner plans tonight? I know I started a little earlier for that reason. So, if anybody has any dinner plans, I'd love to know. And Frankie will be back in a few minutes. So right now I'm trying the noodles with chicken. This one's really good. It's a little spicy for me, but I'll handle it. And also, if you want to tell me like what your comfort level is with spice, I'd be curious because obviously Southeast Asian food in general has a reputation for being hot and spicy.
Oh, is it?
I'm trying the which one is this, Frankie, that I'm trying?
That's the Nanji Tok.
Nanji.
Nanji
T-H-O-K, right?
Yeah, tok.
Tok,
Yeah, so
okay.
the tok is pretty much another word for like a salad mix, like a a tossed salad. So it's with chicken, bean powder.
And
Those
this?
are the fried rice noodle. With the little bit of turmeric that bring the yellow color.
Okay, and what's this one you're bringing out?
That's another sauce since that might be a little spicy for you. That's the spicy mayonnaise sauce. And this is just the sweet sauce.
Okay, I think I'll try the sweet one.
To go with these.
Okay. So,
Make room for you.
yeah, there's one other dish I want to ask you about while we're going around the table, and then I think we're going to pretty much have covered everything. What is this one here, Frankie?
That's my version of sweet and spicy flavor. So it's a minced meat.
What kind of meat?
That's the chicken.
Okay.
And the sauce you want to put it with the sauce.
Mix it in with the sauce?
Yeah, the sauce where to bring it. So I think because we've been talking for a while, might be.
It's cold.
Yeah,
let me just try one.
Let me heat it up. So it's a minced meat
Okay.
with the sweet and spicy. I think I'm gonna heat it up.
Not yet. I'm getting a little full now.
Okay.
Unless you want to help me,
Yeah, all right.
I probably should have brought a guest or two. No dinner plans, just dreams. Okay, Kelly. Yeah, so
Let me bring try the other.
I'm gonna try some of these other fried dishes. And again, okay, this is the potato one. Okay, so we're gonna try one more dish and the dessert. If anybody has any questions, I'm going through here and I'm gonna see if I missed anything. I've been trying to keep up with them while Frankie's been talking. Rhonda says Frank's salad is the best. Okay, so I'm gonna go back up. And yeah, does anybody have any exciting Valentine's Day plans you'd like to share? Okay, so all right, we're gonna try at least this one.
The glass noodle. It's hot.
Okay, now I'm gonna just hold this up, and if you could explain it.
It's a glass noodle with the bean curd, dry black mushroom. We'll cook it with the chicken curry.
This is the black mushroom.
Correct.
Okay, I'm holding it up as best I can. I haven't messed up my shirt yet. I'm trying not to. I don't even know
You're doing pretty good.
how you wash these.
You're doing pretty good. I think the shirt that you're wearing is machine washable.
Okay, that would help because did I miss? Okay, that's a good question because Joy was asking earlier, and now Kelly's asking. What about vegan dishes? Do you have any vegan-friendly dishes here?
Yes, we do. For majority of the vegan dishes, I do use vegetarian sauce for stir fry. I also use the soy sauce for vegan dishes and things like what you tried just now, the spicy, sweet and spicy, sweet and sour. Those flavored dishes are mixed vegetable, and it's a vegan. We can do vegan version where we don't use any, not even chicken powder or fish sauce, because there are a lot of soy sauce made out of beans. Also have the which I didn't bring it here. We also have a Burmese tofu salad, which is the 100% vegan.
Well, you brought enough for 5 people. I know we can't try everything.
So yes, we do. I do have vegan dishes. A lot of dishes we can prepare as vegan. Even the nanjito that you try, that's with chicken. But we do have. We can also make that noodle salad for vegan, which we don't use fish sauce or the chicken, but we use bean powder, garlic oil, salt, also mushroom flavor powder to bring the little flavors in it, and then the chili oil, and the potato. Sometimes some people use potato in the noodle salad just to bring the starch. How do you like that? I mean,
This is good. I'm really digging into this. What's the yellow? Is this bean curd?
Yeah, that's a bean curd.
Okay, all right, I got it.
So this is another type of like a mohinga. A lot of people eat jazan in Burmese. It's jazan jet or jazan hinga. Hinga means soup in Burma, and jazan is vermicelli. So when we say jazan hinga, I mean automatically is this kind of soup, just like mohinga.
So Kelly from Carlisle, Pennsylvania is asking, that sounds great. Is the tofu crispy? I think she's referring to the tofu dish that you just... this is not
yes.
crispy, Kelly, but...
The Burmese tofu, we have 2 versions, and every Burmese restaurant have it too, I believe. The crispy tofu, it's where to make the Burmese tofu, we can't buy a Burmese tofu from the market. We have to make our own, starting from bean powder. We'll soak it in the water for 8 hours. Just wanted to explain you a little bit. To make the Burmese tofu, we'll put the bean powder in the water, soak it for 8 hours, and then minimum 6 hours. And you throw out the old liquid, the water, and then you add about 6 cups of water for 3 cups of bean powder, and then you stir it. You mix it up. You put a little bit of turmeric powder, a little salt. Some people put salt, some people put flavors, and then we'll mix the liquid. And then you have to pour it, and then we put the boiling water in a boiling water pot. Boil the water, maybe about 2 cups of water, and then we'll slowly pour those bean and water mixed liquid into the pot.
Okay.
And you got to stir it up for maybe about 1 hour. Once it gets thickened, and when all the water evaporate, then you pour it into a tray, aluminum tray. Let it cool to harden it, and you get the Burmese tofu. So once you get the tofu, it's a soft tofu. We do have a soft tofu salad, or we'll chop them up into either French fry sizes, or some people do triangle shape, slice it up, and then we'll deep fry them. So that gets a crispy tofu. So crispy tofu and soft tofu pretty much come from the same type of tofu. We'll deep fry them up. And the salad too. The soft version of tofu is mostly from Shan State. You've been to Shan
Is that in the
State.
east?
It's in the northeast,
Okay.
which borders with Thailand. So Shan style, they use only the soft version tofu. But Myanmar style is we'll deep fry them, we crispy it, and then we'll make a salad with a little bit of cabbage, bean powder again, and also garlic oil, and then a little bit of tamarind sauce. But in Shan State, they use a vinaigrette-based sauce. And Shan, a tofu salad. So Burmese will use Burmese style. We use tamarind sauce, and in Shan, it's a vinaigrette-based sauce. That's the difference between soft and crispy salad. You like it?
I'm really filling up now. I just want to ask you one other question.
Yes.
This dish here that we haven't tried yet, is this similar to pho? Is this like the Burmese version of pho?
Yes. When you pour the soup in there, so this is the dry version, but Jo is the very traditional soup as well, and it is similar to pho.
Okay.
Pho use beef. Vietnamese pho use beef. In this particular meat dish, we use pork or chicken. But nowadays you can find also a seafood version in Burma. But that's a new version. The original version is pork, and then later on, people don't eat pork. They use chicken meat. There are also Muslim people in Burma, and they don't eat pork.
Rohingya?
Yes, and also regular Indian, Muslim Indians. The one you seen close to the Tamwe, the Kandoji Lake, near Kandoji Lake. Those Indian towns are Muslims.
Okay.
And the one by Chinatown, majority of them are Hindus.
Okay.
So those Hindu Indians around city, they do eat pork, and the other Muslim people eat beef. So but that's, yes, you're right. Talk back to that. It's very similar to pho soup. It's a broth soup, clear broth. We got to boil if you're making chicken, we boil the chicken bone for about 4 to 6 hours to get the broth. Or for the pork also, we use pork bone, and you gotta boil it. The longer you boil it, the better it gets.
So when I was in Thailand, I was the Farang. That's like the term for Westerner. When I was in Indonesia, the term was bule. I didn't hear any term like that in Myanmar. Does something like that exist?
I'm not quite sure. I'm sure there are slangs, people use, but I'm not quite familiar on that.
Kelly's asking, are there late night street markets in Burma, and what would popular street food be?
There are a lot of late night street vendors. That's where most people go out and eat at night. Majority, people who has a lot of money, they eat at the restaurant, but restaurant closes. Many restaurant closes by like 11, 11ish. So when you want to go eat late night snack, there are a few. One of them is the barbecue, the grill meat.
And this would be
in a skewer.
How late would you be able to get this in like a city?
You can get it up to, it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. And
Okay.
then another popular dish is the wata doto, which is a pork on the stick.
Similar to satay.
Right. It's exactly it's similar to satay, but what they do is it's pork organs. Intestine,
That's getting me into my next question. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean
So
to cut
that's
you
a
off.
very popular dish in Burma, and those are the very famous late night dish when people after clubbing or after party.
So there could be alcohol involved?
No, once people are done with the partying, they want to eat. So that's where they hit the street market or street vendors for this particular. It calls wata, mean pork, and
Okay.
doto is a stick. So pork on a stick. If you want to directly, translate it, it's wata doto. But doesn't mean that it's only pork meat. It's intestine, ear, the whole head, nose, tongue. It's a mixed meat. It's like it's big in Asia.
Okay, I do have a question. Are there any foods you would find there that would really freak like Westerners out?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, like is there anything that would really surprise people?
Yes. The famous and popular ones are the crickets. The fried crickets. They are expensive. They are delicate.
I have pictures of it. I didn't eat it, but I do have
Yeah.
pictures.
So fried crickets. Normally they are very. Their season is around. I think is December in the cold season. So fried cricket is also one of them, and then you also have the farm raised rats. They are.
I did not see those.
Those rats are big.
I saw them in Cambodia. I never saw them in Burma.
Yes, they grow. They grow in the rice field. And those rats are fed on those rice. So it's not like those city rats you see, crawling
In the
around.
subway?
Yeah, those are the rats that you can't eat. They're poisonous. But the ones
that are supposed to be. I want to say, and Rhonda, thank you for all the. I would love to try crickets. Rhonda sounds a little adventurous. Rhonda, where are you joining us from? Yes, so I saw the crickets. I didn't eat them, but I think like the idea of eating a rat really freaks people out. And I want to say, I've never seen a rat in a New York City apartment. Have you?
No, but
Because it's this thing where like all these jokes, oh, rats in my apartment. I've never actually seen one.
only in the. Let me see. I have a charger. Do you have a battery pack?
No, I think I'm good. By the way, I'm trying the coconut custard dessert, which is having trouble even finishing this. So we're winding down right now. If you have any other questions, now's the time. At home in Allentown. Great, Rhonda, so you're not far from us. This is a coconut custard dessert. This is a popular dessert, I take it?
Yes, it's every dessert dish in Burma has that. It's made out of coconut cream, and then you bake it in the oven along with the custard.
All right. So we're winding down. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Periscope. This will be up on my Facebook page. And check out Pacific Palm Bistro if you're ever in Allentown. And like I said, if you're coming from New York, it's easy to get a bus here. And even with COVID, they still run about a half dozen a day. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. How do you say goodbye?
Goodbye or tata.
Tata?
Yeah. Tata.
Okay. Tata.